Now, once you're better at this and you've gotten some skill, you'll be able to have the spindle spinning and keep going and draft so quickly that it stays ahead of that twist. If you can't stay ahead of that twist, your yarn will fill up with twist, and that twist will start to want to push back out of there and make your spindle turn the other direction. And if you look at the spindle, you can see on this one that it's slowing down, and now it's stopping, and now it's starting to spin the other way. When it spins the other way, it's taking the twist out of your yarn. That's the potential energy that is the twist escaping from your yarn. It's going to stop being able to hold together as yarn. The yarn will come right apart, and the spindle will drop if you aren't paying attention. So here's our yarn ready to come right apart. It's still kinking up on itself, but there's not enough twist in there for it to really hold together very well. There's just barely enough. When you're getting started and you're a new spinner, I recommend that you err on the side of putting in too much twist rather than too little. Because if you have too much twist, there's a lot of different stuff that you can do to make the yarn hold together and to compensate for it having more twist than what you ideally want. If there's too little twist, the yarn is just going to fall right apart, and that's no good. I've got my twist pinched off to my fiber supply. I give the spindle a flick to set it in motion. I start drafting. I slide that twist up. No twist, twist. No twist, twist. No twist, twist. My spindle is slowing down, so I grab it and I flick it again. Drafted, no twist. Let the twist in. No twist, twist. No twist, twist. Draft, slide, draft, slide, draft, slide. And now I'm to the end of the fiber that I had in my hand to spin. I'm still going to be able to store this coming up like this and wrap around, but I've got to add some more fiber. I've got to do a join. So give yourself a generous length of yarn coming off your spindle. You want at least a hand length, maybe a little more. Now I'm going to take another piece of my commercial top, and I'm going to tear that off. I'm just tearing off a chunk. Now, if I have my hands too close together, this isn't going to pull apart. That doesn't mean it's not good fiber or it isn't ready to spin. It means I need to move my hands further apart, and then it will separate. So now I have another chunk of it ready to spin. And see how I've got this end here, these fibers coming out? And see how I've got this yarn that I spun? I'm just going to lay those over top of each other. See, I'm laying the fiber that isn't spun right onto the stuff that is spun. And then I'm going to give the spindle a flick and start drafting. And that first draft includes that little bit of spun yarn kind of coming out and a little bit of leftover fiber. Now, drafted, no twist, twist comes in. No twist, twist comes in. Now I'm going to store that length of spun yarn on the spindle. Come up to the notch, through the hook, twirl the spindle. I'm going to go back to park and draft here for a minute. Look how much twist there is right in that little bit. It's very kinky. And it can't hold an awful lot because it's a short length. It can only hold so many twists. So it starts pushing the spindle back around in nothing flat. If you don't stop your spindle, it will try to backspin on you. So that's why in park and draft it's important that you be able to find a way to park that spindle. It doesn't matter what it is, but you can tuck it under your elbow or between your knees, or you can just hold it in your hand. You can just hold the hook in your hand and do a little bit of drafting here. It's a little bit trickier and takes more getting used to. And it makes a different kind of yarn. Because see how that twist is going in there even while we're drafting and pulling apart? It's a different kind of yarn. So, no twist, slide the twist in. 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 Walk it up on your fingertips, on your fingers. Twirl the spindle to store it on the shaft. Come through the notch, through the hook, and up. Give your spindle a flick to set it in motion, and start your drafting. And see how your fibers just pull right out? Now, let's take a close-up look at my right hand here, which is the one holding my fiber supply. I've got it very loose. My fiber is very loosely held there. Now, my spindle's slowing down, so I've got a full length of yarn. My spindle's almost to the ground. So I'm going to go like this, and this, and this. And this is how I'm storing it on my hand under tension to bring it back up to the spindle. So I can twirl the spindle and wrap the yarn around, still keeping it under tension so it doesn't tangle, and then into the notch, see the notch? Into the hook, and we're ready to go. No twist, slide the twist up. No twist, twist comes up. No twist, twist comes up. No twist, twist comes up. Draft the fiber, ease the twist in. Draft the fiber, ease the twist. Draft the fiber, ease the twist. Draft it and slide. Draft it and slide. Store the yarn temporarily. Twirl the spindle to store the yarn on the spindle. Through the notch, through the hook, twirl it, and back to spinning. Now again, I want to point out that this yarn is going to kink up on itself as soon as we take tension off of it. And that's perfectly fine. That's what we want it to do. The yarn we're eventually going to spin when we ply this yarn, what we're going to have is a 2-ply yarn that looks basically like that. And then if I'm going to stop spinning for a while, I'll wrap a couple extra times around the hook and just put it down, and I can leave it be.